everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Emma, and if you're not new here, you've probably seen me do one of these videos before because every single month I do TBR jar picks my next reads, and today we're gonna be letting the TBR jar, or bag shall I say, choose my July reads. I've gone back and forth between the amount of prompts I choose. Some months I've done 8, I've done 10, but I think this time I'm gonna do 6 because, not gonna lie, I am in a little teeny tiny reading slump currently, and I'm trying really hard to get out of it, and I do fear that if I make my TBR too large, it's just gonna slump me out even more. So I want to keep it minimal so that I'm able to allow myself to mostly mood read in the month of July. But nonetheless, I love doing these videos. I love having the prompts pick what I'm gonna read, so we're still gonna do it. I'm just narrowing it down to 6 instead of my usual 8 or 10. If you've seen these videos before, you already know how this works, but if you haven't, the way I do it is I pull all the prompts out and then I choose my reads. I know some booktubers will draw the prompt and immediately choose a book, but I like to have all of them out in front of me before I start choosing. And since it's summer, I'm hoping that we can get some prompts that fit some summery books because I'm really in the mood for that and I'm looking for that summer reading vibe. Time to draw the first prompt. Seasonal, fits the current season. I actually got this prompt in the spring and I put it back because I was hoping to get it in either the fall or summer. So this is literally perfect, and I have lots of options that would work for this. I can't believe I literally just said I was hoping to get prompts that fit summery books. It couldn't get more perfect than this. Prompt number 2. This one is a friends to lovers. Definitely have a lot of options there. I'll just have to see what we're working with. Prompt number 3. We have, a book of the month book. This is perfect because I'm really bad about choosing my book of the month books to read. It's not that I don't want to read any of them, I just, for some reason, am never drawn towards them, and I'm so behind on reading them. 3 more prompts left. We have a book I think my roommates might like. Oh, this is tough, but I'm constantly recommending them things. Like, I'll read things and I'm like, oh, this seems like something you guys would like. So I'll definitely have to think about this one, and it's hard since I haven't read the books yet, but I'll try to find something that I think works for this. Next prompt is a book that trended in 2021. I feel like I've read every book that I own that trended in 2021, but I'll have to see if I have something that fits this, and if I don't, I'll put it back and draw for another one, but surely I have something that trended in 2021. And now drawing our last prompt. Ooh, this is a good one. It's a book that's been on my shelf for over a year. I'm gonna recap them really quick, and then we'll start finding books that fit these prompts to build my TBR. In no particular order, we have a friends to lovers, a book that trended in 2021, a book I think my roommates might like, a book of the month book, a seasonal / fits the current season book, and last but not least, a book that's been on my shelf for over a year. I think I want to start with my book of the month book, so let me go grab a couple options that are kind of jumping off the shelves to me, and then we'll decide. I have 3 that really stood out to me on the shelf, and like I said, I'm trying to choose books that fit the summer vibe. I picked these 3 because I feel like they all could kind of give that vibe, but let's deliberate. My first option is actually my most recent book of the month book. It is from the month of June 2024, and that is Honey by Isabel Banta. And I picked this book for 2 reasons. 1, the cover is stunning, and 2, the way it was described reminded me of Daisy Jones and the Six, but set in the early 2000s, and that really intrigued me. Something about like the music industry, pop star world. I'm assuming it may take place in California, and that's kind of giving me the summer vibes. My next option is a book I've considered putting on my TBR for multiple months, and that is The Unmaking of June Farrow. And a lot of you guys have been commenting on my YouTube and also on my TikTok that I should read this soon. This, to me, even though I don't know much about it, is very much giving fall vibes, but since so many of you guys have been telling me to read it, I'm like, maybe this is the month that I do it. Last option is The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I've heard this one is just a very fun, sweet, wholesome read, and that to me is summer vibes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but in my brain, wholesome books are summer books. I don't know, guys. I'm really torn because I feel like all of these are really good options, and I genuinely do want to read all of these soon, but I think I'm gonna go with The Wishing Game just because I've heard the most about this one. So I already have somewhat of an understanding what this is gonna be about, and I've really been wanting a sweet, wholesome, emotional read, and I think this will be perfect. But hopefully I will get to these two at some point soon. The next prompt I'm gonna do is a book that's been on my shelf for over a year because I know there's a lot of those. I could do Scythe. That's probably been on my TBR the absolute longest. I picked this up at a used bookstore probably 2.5 years ago, and it's been on my TBR multiple times, but for some reason I'm just never drawn to pick it up. So considering I'm in a book slump, maybe we don't go that direction right now. I also think The Poppy War and Jade City have been on my TBR for over a year, but I know these are super high stakes, high fantasies, and I don't think my brain can handle that right now. I think I found something that I want to do. I think I'm gonna go with The Bridge Kingdom. I don't really know much about this, but I've heard amazing things about it, and I've heard people say this is one of the most underrated fantasy romances, and it's fairly short, so I feel like this won't damage my reading slump too much. So I think I'm gonna go with The Bridge Kingdom and dive into this series, and I'm really hoping I like it. Next, I'm gonna do the seasonal / fits the current season prompt, and there's one book immediately coming to mind, and that is The Hotel Nantucket by Elin, not sure which one it is, Hildebrand. And I know she is the queen of summer books, and this is one of the ones I hear talked about the most. I actually found this at a Goodwill and picked it up. If I do go with this one, it will be my first book by her. This has to probably be the most summery vibes book I have on my TBR. I think we're gonna go with this one. I think we're gonna try out Ellen Hildebrand for the first time, and I'm really hoping I love it, and this is definitely gonna give me the summer feels. Next prompt I'm gonna go for is a book I think my roommates might like. I'm gonna have to get up and glance around at all my shelves because nothing is coming to mind immediately. I feel like I'm just gonna have to browse and see if there's anything I notice, so be right back. So after literally scouring over my bookshelves for like 10 minutes, I really wasn't seeing anything that I felt like truly fit this prompt, and none of my roommates are like big readers, but two of my roommates in particular, I got them to read ACOTAR, I got them to read a lot of Colleen Hoover books, so I kind of have a better understanding of what their taste in books might be, and so I think the book I'm gonna use for this prompt is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. And there's two reasons why I picked this one. One is that one of my roommates has actually read an Abby Jimenez book before and really enjoyed it, but also my two friends that I have gotten to read a lot of books are also big fans of rom-com movies, and I know that every Abby Jimenez book is full-on rom-com vibes, and this is just one of the ones I haven't gotten around to reading yet. I absolutely love Abby Jimenez, so I'm slowly working my way through all of her books. So not only is this a book I want to read, but I genuinely do think this might be the type of book that my roommates might enjoy. This is a confusing prompt, but I feel like this one works, and I'm gonna stick it on the TBR. Next, let's do a friends to lovers. I feel like I have a lot of options here. I feel like this prompt is more prevalent in just contemporary romance books, so let me see what I can find. I actually found the perfect book, and that is Heartstopper Volume 2. This is a graphic novel, and I haven't really read many graphic novels in my adult life, but I recently finished Heartstopper Volume 1 and absolutely loved it. I thought it was so adorable, and it was super fun to read the graphic novel style. It might be kind of cheating because when the series starts out, they're not friends, they're strangers, but by the end of book 1, they're friends, so I feel like book 2 can count for friends to lovers, and even if that's cheating and you guys don't think that counts, I'm still gonna do it because 1, my video, my rules, 2, I'm so excited to get to this book, and I honestly may read it even before the time June is up, but if I don't get to it in June, I want to make sure I do get to it in July, so I'm gonna stick this one on there because I'm super excited to read this. It is a friends to lovers, and I don't know, the story's just so adorable and heartwarming, and I felt so happy reading the first book. I'm just in the mood for like happy, lighthearted books, and this is definitely that, so we're adding Heartstopper Volume 2 to my July TBR. And for our very last prompt, we have a book that trended in 2021, and I'm trying to even think what was popular in 2021. So that would have been the end of my freshman year of college and the beginning of my sophomore year in college. This is gonna be difficult for me because I didn't really even get back into my reading journey until the end of 2021, and I feel like I read a lot of those really popular books. And I could be speaking total lies right now, but I genuinely do not think I own a book that trended in 2021 that I have not already read. So I'm gonna put this back and draw for another prompt just because I've glanced over all my shelves and I really can't see anything that I think trended in 2021. I have a lot of 2022 and 2023 trending books, but I really do not think I have any 2021 trending books that I haven't already read. So let's redraw, and hopefully I'll be able to easily find something for this prompt, which is a book with pink on the cover. That's super fun. I have a ton of pink books. You guys probably can't really see from where I have this camera angle at, but down here I have a whole shelf of pink books. And then I also know that Honey by Isabel Banta, which I was just considering putting on the TBR, is obviously a pink book, so this could work as well. Actually, yeah, I think I am gonna have to go with Honey. I considered putting the statistical probability of, what's it called? The statistical probability of love on my TBR because that one was kind of just calling my name. But then when I pulled it off the shelf, I realized the actual book, like the cover, isn't pink, just the spine is pink. And I feel like between that one and this one, which are the two pink books that piqued my interest the most, this one is obviously more pink, so I feel like I just have to go with this one. There's a lot more romance on here than I was expecting. Most months the prompts kind of give me like a variety of genres, but maybe it's just because I'm in a summery happy mood that I was drawn more towards the romance books. But let's do a quick recap of all of the books that are going to be on my TBR for July. I will also give a disclaimer that more than likely I will not actually read all of these. This is more just my loose TBR for July that I'm hoping to get to, but these books definitely will be on my radar more than others. We have Honey by Isabel Banta. From what I know, this is a coming of age kind of general fiction story about a girl in the early 2000s on her rise to becoming a pop star. Kind of giving like Britney Spears vibes, I feel like. We also have Heartstopper Volume 2, which is a graphic novel. I believe this is considered YA romance, and I'm so excited to get to this one. And there's also a TV show of this, so I'll definitely be watching the TV show after I finish all the books. We have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. This is a contemporary romance with like rom-com vibes. The Hotel Nantucket by Elin. I'm gonna go with Elin. I still don't know if it's Elin or Ellen, but I'm going with Elin. Actually, do I want to go with Ellen? I'm gonna go with Ellen. I feel like I hear more people say that. The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hilderbrand. From what I know, this maybe is a romance, but it's more of a general fiction, women's fiction, and this will be my first book by her, and I'm very excited for it to get all the summer vibes. The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. I do know this is fantasy romance. I believe it might be enemies to lovers and possibly also an arranged marriage. I'm not sure if it's YA, NA, or adult, but I feel like I've heard that this has spice in it, so I'm assuming it's either new adult or adult. Super excited to get to this one. It's been on my shelves forever. And then lastly, we have The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, one of my book of the month box picks. I believe this one might just be a general fiction. I'm excited to get to all of these books, but let me know if you guys have read any of these books and what you thought of them, and also let me know any video ideas you want to see me do or what else you want to see me read next. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it would really help me out. You can also check out all the other videos I have up on my channel currently, and stay tuned for new videos in the future. I've also linked my TikTok and Instagram in the description below if you guys would be interested in following me over there. And that's all for now. Bye, guys.